Hello humans coming to watch my videos. Welcome to a colour themed video. Today I'm going to be, well, I have already pulled all the yellow books off of my bookshelves to show you for no reason other than yellow is one of my favourite colours. Yellow is a cheerful and happy colour. It's January, so you need cheer and happiness. And I'm surprised, honestly, I'm surprised by the amount of yellow books I have. This is either yellow spines or yellow covers. I didn't expect it to be this many, guys. I really didn't. So I'm gonna go through all these books. Literally no other reason than the fact they're yellow. They're all different genres, they're all different authors, they're all different types of books, but hopefully this is a fun, interesting and engaging video for all you people that like yellow or books, or both, like me. Gonna whiz through these. Don't know how much of a description I'll give you on each. We'll see how I go, because honestly, I've probably read about half of them. I've probably not even read half of them, let's not lie. So we're just gonna start, we're gonna start. First up is like the least yellow because it's more of a mustard, but we're gonna class mustard as yellow, right? That is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This book is a recent addition to my TBR. I pre-ordered this one, I think it came out a month or two ago. Time means nothing anymore. This is a thriller, as are Tiffany D. Jackson's other books, which you can just about see. Kind of there, maybe there, yeah. I have really enjoyed Monday's Not Coming by her, and allegedly is one I'm in the middle of the audiobook at the moment for. This seems to follow a rising star or somebody that really wants to be a star and her mentor, who is also famous, and then ends up being found dead, the mentor person, and I suppose maybe it goes down the route of her being route of her being accused of the murder? She's called Enchanted Jones. That is a funky name. Yeah, so it starts at the top saying Corey Fields is dead, so I get the impression that this is going to be her trying to prove her innocence, or not, I don't know. Is she innocent? I don't know, but I'm all here for a good thriller mystery type of book. So I am very excited to read this one. I've mentioned this in a couple of videos recently, but it's yellow, so it's in the video. Okay, this next one I have read, so yay. This is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is an modern fantasy with a twist of like the fact that our world has sirens and it has gargoyles and sprites just kind of meandering about doing their thing, and this follows two girls who are best friends, and one of them is a siren and she is covering that fact up because it's quite dangerous to be known as a siren, but there's also this mystery going on between the two of them as to some secrets that have been hidden along the way, and they're trying to work out why all these weird things are happening around them. It's a very short fantasy, and you're probably thinking, Beth, that's blue, why are you putting this in a yellow hole? Look at the spine and the back. Haha, it is yellow. Okay, well, that's that one. Then we have Magic for Liars, which has yellow scattered through it too. When this is on my shelves, it's in the yellow section because the spine is facing out. This is by Sarah Gailey, and on the front is blurred by Victoria Schwab, which is very high praise. So I'm excited to read this one. It is set in a magic school, and I think again there has been some kind of crime committed, and the main character I think is trying to work out what the hell is going on. I'm excited to read this purely based on the magic school and the combination of a crime being committed, because I love fantasy and I love thrillery mystery, so this kind of blurs the two together, which I am most definitely here for. Next up is the last yellow hardback from my yellow hardback section of my shelves, and that is Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams. This is an adult contemporary that I am saving for the summer. I intended to read it this summer and then just got swept away with books, as one does. But this follows Queenie, who I think is in a little bit of a rut of life from what I can tell from the blurb, but I think that this is really a look on so many important issues that are raised. It says it's a darkly comic and bitingly subversive take on life, love, race and family. So 4 things it deals with there: life, love, race and family. You can already tell it's going to be a really prominent book, because following that it says it'll have you nodding in recognition, crying in solidarity and rooting for an unforgettable character. I know this is going to be one that I'm going to be hooked to, and I'm very excited to read it, and you can't deny this is a yellow book. Then we have The Hunting Party. Again, no denying, this is a yellow book by Lucy Foley, who also wrote the guest list, which I absolutely loved, so I bought this one as soon as I finished that. This follows a group of friends who are all on a hunting party, and I believe one of them or somebody dies, and it's about who did it, but there's the breakdown of the friends on the back, and it's like the cliche of like the beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, and the outsider. and the victim. Not an accident, a murder among friends. It's a thrillery crime. We know I'm here for it. I'm excited. Haha, another thrillery crime with a yellow spine. This is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. My mum read this one recently and told me I absolutely had to read it, so I bought it. This follows a murder that has happened, but there has been a baby as a survivor and somebody has been looking after the baby among the sea of murdered bodies, I think. I constantly have to describe this one and yet can never quite click what it's actually about, but the bottom says who has been looking after the baby and where did they go. So yeah, people have been dead for several days, but there's a baby among them that's been looked after, and it's the question of who's looking after it. My mum said this was just absolutely amazing and gripping, so I am very excited. And yellow. This is clutching at straws a little, but it is yellow, kind of. It's pasty. I've had this for so long. This is The Ark of One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I've had this since 2016. I got this as an ARC when I used to work at Waterstones, and I have read this book and really enjoyed it. But I have since obviously had the finished copy because it came out in either 2016 or 2017. This follows a group of school children who are in detention. They don't know why they're there, and then one of them dies in detention, and it's the whodunit situation of it must have been someone in detention, and it's the kind of figuring that out throughout the whole book. Again, another crimey, thrillery YA thing, and I absolutely loved it. This next one I have on my shelves for a cute reason, hopefully. There's the yellow, there's more yellow. This is Inspector Morse, The Remorseful Day by Colin Dexter. Now, Ava at school, my sister, when she was 6 or 7, she had a book fair, or a Christmas fair, I think it was, and you could pick presents for your family members, and she chose to pick her present for me, and she picked me a book because she knows how much I love reading, and it's so cute. So she bought me this one. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go through the description because we all know that Inspector Morse is a mystery, again, whodunit. But I just felt really touched that she picked me a book and that she knows me, she knows the way to my heart. Then a book I've read many years ago again, The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee. Catherine McGee. This is yellow through and through, and this is kind of Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl, 90210-esque in skyscraper buildings. There's this humongous building with 1,000 floors, and it's like the ranks of people going up it and the lives they lead, the secrets, the way that they can fall from high society essentially. And I can't remember how exactly I found this one, whether I enjoyed it or not, but I think I liked it. I just don't think I adored it. But it's remained on my shelves all these years, so clearly I liked it enough to keep the copy. Then we've got a Holly Bourne book, which is It Only Happens in the Movies. I think this is my only Holly Bourne book, but this is about a young girl who finds a guy that she really likes, but he is like every single movie cliche ever, and she's trying to spark a romance with him. I think it's a YA contemporary. I don't know too much about this one because I haven't read this one yet. I have to be in a really specific mood to read YA contemporaries, as you'll probably know if you've watched my videos before. If you've watched my videos. I filmed so many videos today. But this one is all yellow, it looks nice and cheery, and it's got popcorn on the front, which is a win for me. This is a weird one because I always forget I have this. This is Everyday Angel by Victoria Schwab. Yellow spine. Now, Victoria Schwab's books, as you can see here, are often not yellow or bright. But this, I think this is one of her very early books that was republished or something. It's 3 books in one, and it follows an angel having to guide 3 different girls. I don't know too much about this, and honestly I'm not like crazy engaged to pick it up, and I think I've got it more because it's a Victoria Schwab book, but it just doesn't read like it would be a Victoria Schwab book because her books are normally really dark and like this scary type of not scary type of magic. They're not horror books, but like a dark, dangerous magic is what Victoria Schwab's books are like, and this is about an angel, a guardian angel. Maybe I'll read it one day, but for now, it's got a yellow spine. I just looked at the blurb of this one because I completely forgot and now kind of want to read it. This is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This has a yellow spine. It's got quite a nice coloured yellow spine actually. It's kind of a warm yellow. This is about a phone that allows you to phone to the past, which is a very cool concept because who would you call? Would you call past you? Would you call a relative that's no longer with you? An ex-partner? An old friend? Like it's interesting. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. See, so half these books I haven't read, but this one. Then we've got the second book in the Paper and Heart Society, Read with Pride by Lucy Powery. This has a yellow spine. This follows the Paper and Heart Society as they go on more bookish adventures. If you've read the first one, this is a continuation from that, following a different member of the friendship group. This one follows Olivia, who is trying to lift a ban that her library at school have put on LGBTQIA+ books, and she is trying to rally a group of people behind her to do this. I loved this. It felt good, it felt cozy, it felt wholesome, and it just had a nice message to it. And it's got a yellow spine. This next book is going to seem utterly random. It's Judy Blume, who I have not read since I was a child, but I have a rainbow collection of hers that I got from the works, because why not? This is Deanie, and I can't remember at all what this one's about. I don't think I've ever read this one, not even when I was a kid. Okay, that's really interesting. That's actually following a girl who everyone says should be a model and then gets stuck wearing a brace from her neck to her hips for 4 years. That's really interesting. I wonder if she's got scoliosis. I have scoliosis for context, which is where your spine is curved, and in some cases they make you wear a brace to align it. Okay, do you know what? I might actually pick this up. That's really interesting, because that could... I've wanted to read a book about scoliosis for ages and never have, so, I feel like I need to know now. Can't believe I've had this book on my shelves for so long and have never even thought to look. Stupid. I don't know, but I'm going to be doing some research on this one. Then we've got Ordinary People by Diana Evans, not to be confused with Normal People by Sally Rooney, which I always think it is, even though it's not. It's really not. It's just got the same word in the title. This follows a group of friends living in London as they go through the trials and tribulations of being that age, living in London with all the things they have to deal with. I haven't read it, but I'm intrigued again now I've refreshed my mind of the blurb. Then we have Nick and Charlie, which is a solitaire novella / Heartstopper world book by Alice Oseman, and this follows Nick and Charlie, who are deciding how their relationship will continue when one of them goes off to university, which I feel like is an incredibly relatable thing for people of that age. I definitely went through that myself, and you can feel their heartbreak and the decisions they have to make, and it was just really, really lovely, and I enjoyed this very, very much. Then we have The Sun Is Also a Star, which totally has bits of yellow in it. This is counting. This is by Nicola Yoon, and this follows two teens who meet each other on the last day of one of them being deported back to Jamaica. I think she's being deported to? Yes. Natasha and Daniel. Natasha is being deported back to Jamaica, and Daniel is living in New York, is it? Again, can't remember, it's been years since I read this one. New York City, yes. And they just have a fleeting romance for the day, and that's all they've got with each other. And it's about Natasha trying to get her family to be able to stay, and Daniel trying to spend as much time with her as possible and help in any way he can. This broke me. I cried my eyes out. I still haven't watched the film because I'm worried it will break me again. It was really good and really, really sad. Then we have got The Ren Hunt by Mary Watson. This seems to be like a trippy fantasy book in which there is a childhood game, I think. Ren Silk is chased through the forest in a warped version of a childhood game every winter. The boys who hunt her know nothing of her true identity. If they discovered that she was an ogre, their sworn enemy, the game would turn deadly. So this is two different beings at war with each other, but through a childhood game? I haven't read this one, as you can probably tell. However, I know a lot of people really love this one, and I think this is probably one that I will maybe get to in the in-between summer to autumn period, because it gives me that kind of vibe. But we've got the yellow. Then we've got What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, yellow spine. I read this one this year or last year maybe. It is about two guys who meet in the post office, quite enjoy each other's company, and then don't know how to find each other again, and it's about them trying to get in touch with each other, and whether they do or not I shall not tell you, therefore I shall not tell you what the rest of the book is about. But I quite enjoyed this one. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to, but it was fine. It was a fun YA contemporary, but again, YA contemporary isn't as much my thing at the moment anymore anyway. But this does feel like it's reaching a little bit older than YA, I think. They feel that they're not, they're still YA. I don't know what I'm talking about. It was fine, it was good. Then we've got one that I'm sure you probably have seen floating about the internet. This is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay, which is of non-fiction about his own experiences being a doctor and his stories from that. I think it's meant to be quite funny, but also very poignant and heartbreaking. And honestly, this is not the year to pick this up, or last year wasn't the year to pick this up. Like, it's, no. I know it's meant to be really funny, but I'm not really in the frame of mind to read medical stuff at the moment because it's just too, I'm not particularly squeamish, but when you see constant stuff on the news about it anyway, and hospitals and things, it's just not really what you want to reach towards. I don't know why I bought this one initially, because this really isn't the kind of thing I normally read. I think I was very much swayed by the fact that everyone says it's hilarious. Then we've got One by Sarah Crossan. This one ripped me apart because this is told in prose. Ta-da. It follows two conjoined twins as they try and decide whether they want to remain conjoined. And that's all I'm going to say. It was brilliant. It destroyed me. I loved it. I read it in one sitting many years ago and I cried. It was really good. Finally, we have got this very yellow book, which is Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis, that I bought because everyone said it was really good and it was in buy one get one half price in Waterstones one day. And I haven't read it yet. But it's even got yellow spray pages, so this really is a true yellow book. I think this is about a girl who goes to the set of one of her favourite films, or of a cult film. Her famous father directed a film. Okay, it was a cult horror film that was filmed in Harrow Lake. She goes there and she finds that someone might possibly be stalking her. At the bottom it says, "In Harrow Lake, the truth can be the death of you." So I'm probably going to enjoy this because, again, thrillery mystery. Yeah. I just thought of another book. Sorry, I told you I was done, but I just saw this on my bookshelf behind me. In fact, there's probably many I've missed, but this is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, and I just wanted to give it a quick mention because when I read this, I absolutely loved it and just thought it warranted a mention because I think we can say that's yellow. It's a little bit sun-kissed yellow, but it's yellow. This follows a young teenager called Mariam who is sent to Kabul to marry a man she does not want to marry, and the life that she gets thrown into. And then years later, I think the Taliban attack the town and she is kind of forced into the state of starvation and poverty. And it sounds absolutely tragic because it is, but also reading her story is so interesting, the way that this is written. It's a fiction. It's obviously written, fictionalized by Khaled Hosseini, but the way that he writes, he also wrote The Kite Runner, which was also very poignant and brilliant. It's been made into a film. And I just learned a lot through reading this about a different culture and about a different way of life and about living in Kabul and the Taliban and their rule and their regime there. And honestly, it was very eye-opening and yes, completely tragic, but also not completely without hope. The last line on the bottom says, "Love can move people to act in unexpected ways." So it's not completely without hope, but it is not an easy read. Probably not an upbeat one to end the video on, but sorry, I forgot it. It's yellow. Those are all my yellow books. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry it was a bit random, but I was trying to think of fun things to do and I thought yellow is such a happy, positive colour. How can you not smile your face off whilst you're watching me talk? You probably didn't smile your face off. Is that a possible thing to do? I don't know. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. You can comment down below or you can subscribe to see more of my face on your feed. Thanks so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive.